Unstoppable, kid. Unstoppable. You fight like a
Vilantor!
lion.
Hey everybody, this is Kohdok here, and as you know, I love to do unreleased stuff on my show. Well, this one has been released, however, it's only been released in Japan. This is Kilan Leoness, and it's Kilan Leoness, as you'll be able to see later with some of the cards I got. As you can see, it's from the Bakugan series, which is a series made by Sega Toys. You see there's no Spin Master marks anywhere on this packaging. It's made with Sega Toys in conjunction with Koro Comics, who's running a comic series in it, where, for once, Dan's not the hero. As you can see, it says Bakugan Booster Pack Kilan Leoness. That's what it says in Japanese right there. Yeah, that's one thing I have over FaizProductions, who also did a review of Kilan Leoness, is I can read Japanese! Did that merit the evil music and lightning? Really, I'm not sure, but anyway, let's continue. As you can see, we have kind of a pentagon here on the packaging, and what it has is it has control, stand power, attack power, defense power, and occupation power, which means how much space it takes up on the card. So with Kilan Leoness, its control isn't the best, but its defense and occupation space of the card is top-notch. This is Haos. As you can see, it has a lot of the blue, which is a lot of what Haos from like Nuva Stroya and stuff had, except blue it's even more pronounced on this Bakugan. It has the white plastic. And up here, you can see it has the cross parts. It has a metal tail and a plastic tail, which can be stuck into the little tail down here with the help of a little rubber ring that holds it in place. And as you can see on the back here, speaking of the cross, this is one of the things that the Bakugan series advertises, is the fact that you're able to swap these out. As you can see, we have Destroyer Municus and Flare Dragoan swapping parts here. You see you have the wing parts, which are also Kilan Leoness's tail parts, which would be the cross up here. That says cross. And then down here you have the sole, which would be like the soles of the feet, because that's what they're swapping, is the feet. And you have metal parts and plastic parts in different configurations. And that's the Bakugan Convert system, as it says right here. And down here they have some tech specs for Kilan Leoness. This packaging design is actually very interesting, because rather than having a bubble package that you actually have to rip apart, it actually has a bunch of folding plastic pieces that keep an otherwise seamless card in place. So, should the mood strike you, you can put this thing back together, like if you want to do a review of it on the internet. Yeah, I admit I've already opened this. So anyway, in the back here, we have some stickers which go on the cross parts. We have a survey, the instructions, and of course the ability and gate card. You might notice that the ability card is actually smaller here. Anyway, let's get this open. And here is Kilan Leoness in ball form. I actually acquired this through a service in Japan that actually you give them your money plus a bit of a handling fee. They go and they buy the Bakugan, so Sega Toys gets their money, they're happy, and then they charge you the shipping and send it to you. This is how I got it. I got this one for $25 because the dollar was actually doing fairly well against the yen that day. And which apparently trumps Faiz. He got his for $40, but then again, I took a bit of a longer journey to finding mine. Anyway, here it is in ball form. You can see I have attached the metal tail to it, along with the parts there. There's the Haos symbol. It's all folded up. You got the legs, you got the wings, you got the tail, and you got that head with that big old mane on there. So it opens up. It is a 560G Bakugan. You can tell by the title Occupying Force, it takes up a great deal of the card in order to prevent your opponent from landing on it. So, as you can see, here's the main here. The only part that you actually have to operate to open up anything, which compared to a lot of Bakugan is actually a remarkably small amount, is the lower jaw. And that's really the only part that you have to open, other than how this thing attaches. As you can see, it's got a hole here that the metal part goes through, and there's actually a rubber ring in there that's holding this in place and keeping it from flying everywhere. The instructions, which contain a small biography on Kilan Leoness, it literally translates out to thunderclouds from, of many beasts the king, Kilan Leoness descends. Super low center of gravity body and metal equipment all attacks against it useless become. Well, that's how that pretty much literally translates there. I'm sure somebody could do a better job, but if I translated it into English, it would be, from the thunderclouds descends the king of beasts, Kilan Leoness. Its low center of gravity and metal equipment makes all attacks useless against it. That sounds a lot better, doesn't it? Anyway, here they have the, this is the main character from the Koro comics series, which is, see, Koro, that's Koro right there. It's probably one of the reasons we won't be seeing this stateside is because they've worked out a deal with Koro Comics, and unless Spin Master makes a deal with Sega Toys and Koro Comics, we probably won't see these over here. Now, I imagine the cross and soul parts are a choking hazard, which might be one of the reasons they're not allowed over here. Those soul parts in particular are really tiny looking. But, you know, maybe if we're lucky, because these things use metal parts, we might actually get a dummied down version for Tinium Surge. But remember the 11th law, hold not thy breath. For the low center of gravity part, it actually has a large portion of metal ring on its base here. As you can see, MG didn't really look up what that stood for. But it has a low center of gravity, which means that if you roll it, I actually prefer the plastic part for that part for when you roll it. It actually keeps the base on the bottom. So to go with its nice and well-designed opening, it's also a bit difficult to close. You see, what the order for it is tail, feet, wings, and head. And that's how you close it up again. So, anyway, that's Kilan Leoness. I'm going to try and translate more of the instructions and some, maybe even the survey to see what they think of that. Oh! Ability cards and gate cards. Our first ability card du jour is the Kilan Leoness card. This is how I know that it is in fact called Kilan Leoness and not Kiran Leoness, is because that's how it's written in English on the card. There's a small portion where it's written in English, which is part of how Faiz was able to tell what it did. As you can see, it has a very high and even highlighted Haos bonus. It's a gold card. It actually says so right here, if you can see. Not sure how well the focus is on that. Gate card gold. And the effect is, excluding Kilan Leoness Bakugan, blue ability cards cannot be played. So basically, unless a player has a Kilan Leoness in this battle, they may not play blue ability cards in our terms. As you can see, it has the same back, even if this one's a bit off-center, of the gate cards of the game we have here, complete to saying Battle Brawlers in English, even though it has the Bakugan kanji on the back. This is a fairly handsome picture of Kilan Leoness. It has the same one as the look on the box. Our second ability card du jour is one called King's Howell. This is a green ability card that you can see boldly depicts Kilan Leoness on the front there. Ability card that can only be used by Haos Bakugan, or in this case it literally says Light Tribe. And what it does is it prevents everybody from gaining the gate bonus. The opponent cannot gain the highlighted bonus, but blue cards still work. So it's a bit complicated, but that's what I've managed to pull off of it. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's what I've pulled from my translation. So, yep. Anyway, this has been a review of the Japan exclusive Kilan Leoness Haos, of course. Oh, so delicious Haos. 560G as soon as I get in focus. Yeah, see? 560G. If you go and look up the Kilan Leoness page on the Bakugan Wiki, you can figure out a lot of this. That's how I actually figured out this thing existed. So, yes, this is Kilan Leoness. I might import some more Bakugan if I get the chance and I get the money, which is a rather important part. And something I actually have planned for the future is showing off how to customize Bakugan. Like you all remember that Wyvern, that show-accurate Wyvern I showed off in that video a long time ago? Well, I'm going to show you guys how you can make your own, so look forward to that. Anyway, this is Kohdok signing off.